Hey everybody, John Younger, Assisted Living Locators. Today, 5 minutes with Scott Maibor of Senior Benefits Boston. Morning, Scott. How's it going?
Morning, John. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for coming on. Hey,
Thank you very much for having me.
tell us about Senior Benefits Boston.
Okay. So, founded this company a few years ago and really focus almost exclusively on Medicare. And prior to my getting involved with Medicare, I had no idea how many people were confused about it, how many people needed help with it. And it's really been eye-opening. And people come to me when they need help with their Medicare, and there's just so much confusion around it. Whether somebody's new to Medicare because they're turning 60, 65 soon, or they are well over 65 but they've continued to work, or a spouse has worked and they've been covered under an employer plan, and now one or the other is retiring, and all of a sudden Medicare becomes a consideration. And it's interesting because very few people in this country have ever shopped for health insurance on their own. Most people simply get it from their employer or
Yeah.
spouses. And it's either one of two choices, or just one, take it or leave it. And now you're retiring, you're separating from a company, and for the first time in your life, at 65 years old or older, they're saying, all right, John, it's time for you to choose a health insurance plan, as you're going to probably need it more. And the consequences, being on a fixed income, potentially not being as healthy, are great. And where do you start? And then you get all these confusing television ads with Joe Namath and whatnot. So
Right, right. Yeah, very yeah, the Medicare is overwhelming because as you said, we don't I can't remember the last time I really kind of shopped for a health insurance program.
yeah, and it's Medicare is clearly just a system that has just had things piled on top of it over the years, without anyone actually stepping back and saying, let's coordinate this in a more logical way, because it just isn't. Um, you know, I help people with, explain the dates, what's actually required and what isn't, what are the costs, what's covered and what isn't. Um, I can't enroll people in A and B, and A and B come from the government. So that but I can point them in the right direction, answer their questions, fax the form if needed, since most people don't have a fax machine anymore. Um, and the government likes faxes, actually, to add Part B. But then it's, once you have your A and your B from the government, everything else is from a private insurance company. And a lot of people, I spoke to a woman the other day who wanted to sign up for Part D, and I asked her what carrier, and she said, what do you mean? It's from the government. And it isn't. It's everything else, whether it's a supplement, a drug plan, an advantage plan, is all going to be from a private insurance company. And there's pros and cons of each type of plan. There's pros and cons with various choices you have to make. I always tell people, especially in a state like Massachusetts, where every open enrollment season in the fall, you have a chance to change. So if you are not in a plan that you're happy with, you're not stuck in it for life. You can make changes. So it takes some of the pressure off.
So 65 is the magic number.
65 is the magic number. What I always tell people is you should look at Medicare, even if you have no intention of going on it, when you're approximately 65, a little bit before your enrollment. You can enroll 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your 65th birthday. So, but in my mind, even if you have no intention of going on Medicare immediately, it's worth having a 15-minute conversation just so you understand how it works, what the parts are, what to anticipate, because sometimes life changes. Somebody gets laid off, God forbid somebody gets sick and has to quit, and all of a sudden Medicare becomes something that wasn't going to be important in the near future, and now all of a sudden it is. And it's better to have at least kind of a working understanding of it, early on, even if you don't intend to need it.
Great. Yeah, planning is important. Um, what do you charge for your service, Scott?
Nothing. So
Nothing.
I'm free to work with. The insurance carriers pay me, and that's been set up by Medicare to work like that. I have no bias with any particular carrier. All the carriers, the way this works is Medicare set up the program. Medicare tells the carriers how much to pay. So whether you pick Harvard Pilgrim or Tufts, the pay to me is the same. The cost to you is the same. So whether you call Harvard Pilgrim to pick on them or Tufts, whoever, and you sign yourself up for a plan, you're paying the exact same amount doing it that way as you will if I recommend a plan and enroll you myself. So the cost to you is the same. The difference is I see a lot of people who sign up for one plan. I spoke to a woman who picked a supplement, which in Massachusetts are all the exact same, but she happened to pick the most expensive carrier in Massachusetts. Not that her supplement's any different than anyone else's. It was just $75 more a month than what she could have been paying. She also took the same drug plan from the same carrier because while they have you on the phone, they sell you a drug plan, which may or may not be the best drug plan for you. It's definitely the one they want to sell you, but may not be the best one for you. So it's worth having an independent, non-captive broker. Just take a look and make sure you are in the best plan. And if you are, great. If you're not, we can probably save you some money while improving some of your benefits.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Scott. Hey, if somebody's interested in getting a hold of you, what is the best way to contact you?
Email is usually best, and that's Scott at S as in Sam, B as in boy, Boston.org. You can certainly call me at 617-721-1250. Call or text. I usually have during the day. I will always answer a voicemail, but usually not pick up the phone if I'm doing one of these with a client. And but I will always get back to somebody.
Great. And do you have a website?
I do. sbboston.org, or you can type out seniorbenefitsboston.org.
Excellent. Hey, thank you so much for coming on, Scott.
Thank you, John, for your time. I appreciate it. I appreciate you letting people know about me.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes with Scott Maibor of Senior Benefits Boston. Scott, have a great day.
Thanks, John. You as well. Take care.